What is up? I'm going to wait for your fabulous leader, Miss Janelle, to hop on in here. And then we're going to talk about this thing. Yes, yes, yes. So as soon as I see Janelle here in the Exceeding in Abundance. Ooh, what a heavy, deep, inspirational title. Feeling that. I am feeling that. So let me wait until I get her in here. There she is. What is up, girl? Hello, Miss Janelle. What is up? How are you? Lots of love to you. I'm going to wait until you give me the go-ahead. I know every team is a little bit different. Sometimes people fly in really fast, and other times we wait just a few minutes till people get the notification. So, Janelle, I will wait for you to give me the go-ahead until people show up here in the live. And yeah, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna talk. I'm gonna share hopefully some good nibbles and some good things to inspire you, not only today but moving forward. And we've got natural curls going today. And wow, it's a little humid here in New York, so it's a little bit crazy. Hello, hello to your amazing team. Hello, hello, hello. Gonna give you a second to get yourselves all in here. And as soon as beautiful Janelle tells me to go for it, let me make sure I'm not on my Wi-Fi on my phone. We just went, oh, there we go. We were just out for a bit of a walk, so came back, a bit of a walk to get some more baskets for sorting. Story of my life. Aren't these so cute? They're so cute, and I paired them with just a little simple necklace. And this new hot mama, isn't she good? Love that. So Janelle, you let me know when you want me to get started. Hello to your beautiful team, and I will get this thing rolling and hopefully give you some good little nibbles, some good tidbits of information here. So Janelle, you give me the go-ahead, girlfriend, and we will get this thing rocking and rolling. Yes, I think we're finally turning a corner, right? And I think spring is finally coming. It's a little bit of a chill in the air, but you're feeling that humidity that comes with that springtime rain. Hello, hello. I see your numbers popping up here a little bit there, sweetheart. I love that. So we will, I'm betting Janelle's inviting some folks. So if I don't hear from Janelle, I will wait like another minute or so, and then I'm going to jump in with this thing. She did ask me to speak for about a half an hour, which is, it's a little bit shorter than I'm used to. So we're going to try to jam this story in for you all. A lot of rain. Yeah, it's raining here in New York City also. So, all right, Miss Janelle, I'm going to rock this thing out, okay? So maybe the comments are a little delayed. So in case you don't know me, hey, my name's Heidi Bound, and I am coming to you live from New York City. All right, perfect. Thank you, my love. I generally like to start out trainings by telling you a little bit about my paparazzi resume, maybe, for lack of a better term. But before I do that, I want to thank Janelle for reaching out to me. I love being able to pop in and inspire people, so hopefully you walk away with feeling, you know, fired up and pumped up today. I want to tell you where I'm at with paparazzi at this point, and then we'll rewind a little bit so that you can see where my story started. My story is pretty unique if you don't know me. Cool, chance for you to get to know me. Please feel free, oh, of course, my goodness, Janelle, my pleasure. Please feel free to ask me questions. This is more my story versus an actual training on specifics. If Janelle ever wants me to come back in, I can train on some specific things. But I'm hoping today that you walk away with some inspiration around goal setting. So let me tell you where we're at now, okay? So I've been with the company since July of 2017, so it hasn't been 2 years yet. And in a really short time, actually in less than a year, hi everybody, I achieved Life of the Party Black Diamond, and we'll get there. We'll talk about that. I achieved Elite. I have a Z necklace, so yes, I am Heidi of the Heidi Z necklace. Hopefully you all know and love that necklace. And I achieved Crown Club 25, and that was literally within the first less than a year that I was with the company. Now, I titled this thing Goals Then versus Now, and I reflected a little bit on the fact that when I first started in July 7th of 2017, I had no idea about life of the party. I had no idea about ranking and elite. None of those things connected for me. I had no idea what any of that was. And I know that some of you who are new may be feeling the same way. Some of you that may have been doing this for a while may be feeling like, hey, I'll never get there. Like those things feel so impossible to me. So give me a hashtag new if you're pretty new to the company. Give me a hashtag, with how long you've been with the company. So if you've been with the company for a year, give me a hashtag 1 year, whatever the case might be. Now, here's the deal. And I talk to my team about this stuff all the time. Hello, everybody. I am a no excuses kind of gal. I tell my team no excuses and know your worth. And here's why. Let's rewind. All that sounds great, right? Z necklace. I've actually hit Black Diamond twice. I hit Black Diamond again this year in February. And I am now fashionista. Now let's rewind all of that. Back to July of 2017. July of 2017. All right, 2 years, 5 months, new. Oh, you got a lot of new people. I love that. So hopefully I put a little fire in your step while you're here today. I am a New York City girl, so I will try to like tone down a little bit of my edginess, but I am, people that know me know that I keep it real. Wow, a lot of new folks. All right, well, welcome everybody. That is awesome. So July 2017, I was out to dinner with my husband on the 4th of July. And I said, you know, Anne, who's my sponsor, does this thing called paparazzi. And I said, I think I want to do it. And he was like, okay, so go for it. Well, my story goes like this. I was actually a teacher for 23 years. 23 years. Most of that time I taught special education, upper elementary school. Wow, you have a lot of new people here, Miss Janelle. Upper elementary in inner city New York City. And I'm not talking like, you know, some swanky neighborhoods. I'm talking about in the rough neighborhoods where there's guns on the street and drug deals going on the corner. Like I liked the roughest, toughest, most challenging schools and the roughest, toughest, most challenging kids. The rougher you are, the more of a challenge it felt to me, the more I wanted to do it. So for 23 years I taught. About 10 years ago, the school system, the educational system started to really change and things were evolving into this whole idea of standardized testing for kids, right? Like every kid, instead of them being a kid covered in paint and a kid covered in soil because they're planting outside and raising butterflies, these are now kids that are being given a number based on a standardized test score. And that for me did not fit who I am or who I was as a teacher. So for a very long time, I would say to my husband, like, this teaching thing isn't me anymore. It's not me. Hi, everybody. I loved my students. My students loved me. I would get through to the hardest kids. I would get through to 5th graders that nobody could get to learn to read. I was the woman that got them to read. I was the one that would have kids coming back to visit me all the time. But the school system was falling apart right in front of me, and there was nothing that I could do except try to conform to a system that didn't make sense for me. I wanted out. Do any of you, right? And even if you're loving your job, don't you feel like it defines you? So I felt like I'm a teacher. That's my thing. That's who I am. I graduated college at 21 years old and had a classroom. I always joke around and say they handed me a classroom and a beer at the same time. I was of legal drinking age and allowed to teach a class all at one time. Holy cow, that's crazy. But do you ever feel like you're just defined by your job? Well, that was me. And I kept saying to my husband, like, I live in New York City. It's the greatest city in the world. I wanted to do something in fashion. I always loved clothes and shoes and all of that. But here I am. I'm locked in. I'm a teacher with a master's degree in special education. What am I going to do? I'm stuck. I'm going to be doing this thing until I'm 62 years old. And here I was in my early 40s, and I was done. I was like, I can't connect to this system anymore. I cannot torture kids with a test. That's how I felt. So at school, I'm watching my sponsor, Anne, and she's got all this cute paparazzi jewelry. And very long story short there, I became a customer, right? As most of us do. And at that lunch on the 4th of July, I told Marty, I said to my husband, like, I want to do this. And he said to me, what's the worst thing that could happen? You end up with a box of cute jewelry. So what? You already love the jewelry. You're buying it from Anne. You might as well go for it, right? I was with another direct sales company prior to Paparazzi. It was a company where the products were great. The company was great, but it was a very trendy product. And if you were not into it, part of what I needed to do to be successful was to convince you that you needed the product. Unlike our jewelry, everybody needs it. We don't have to push that part. What was beneficial to me with that, because my customers from that company did not follow me. It was the kind of company where people were making their own jewelry, so they weren't really buying it. But I had a presence already online, and I was not afraid to turn on a camera and go live. I was not afraid to get in front of people. That was a big takeaway for me, as well as business savvy training. So I bought that box, the $500 box, and I sold out of it in 2 live shows. 2 live shows. I had to tell my customers, hold on, wait, I need to get more stuff, right? Because I had to place another order. Like, who would have known? So that was July. August, I'm off for summer break. September, I started back to school again, right? And my business, when I tell you it exploded, it exploded. I had no idea what anything was, life of the party, ranking, none of that. All I knew is that my bank account was now on fire. I joke and I say, I don't know how my bank did not call me and say, excuse me, for a very long time, you've had no money. And all of a sudden you do, like somebody's giving you like charitable gifts. So that was September, October, November, December. My business kept building and building and building. And ooh, that's ink all over my fingers. Look at that. Hello. Like, what in the world is that? Cute. Let me not get that on my shirt. We'll put my hand over here. That's interesting. So for all of those months, I was building. And what I mean by building is I was selling 1,000 pieces a week and 1,200 pieces a week. Hey, Kay. Like a lot of jewelry, right? So EMP rolled around in 2018, and I went with my sponsor and a few friends to EMP in Philadelphia. And in the train station here in New York City, hi everybody, admin support, there you go, Wanda, yep. In the train station, we're getting ready to go to EMP, and I looked at Anne, my sponsor, and I said, this is my last year of teaching. And she said, what? And I said, yeah, I can do this thing full time. And she was like, oh my gosh. She said, if anybody could do it full time, it's you. And I was like, all right. So things changed for me winter of 2018. So a little more than a year ago. And the way that they changed was this. I knew things were different for me when my MacBook Pro, and this is always my turning point story, right? We all have those moments. My MacBook Pro, it was dying. And if you're like me, the last thing you want to do is go replace some kind of technology. I don't need the new phone when it comes out, because as long as mine works. I don't need the new laptop when it comes out, because as long as mine works. But it was no longer working. It was no longer able to keep up with my workload at school, as well as my paparazzi workload. Things changed when I walked into the Apple store on the Upper West Side, and I handed the salesperson my debit card, not a credit card, for the most expensive MacBook Pro in the store. Give me hearts. I knew things were different when they could take the money from my checking account, and I didn't have to use a credit card, and I didn't have to settle for the least expensive computer. I could actually buy what I wanted. That was the moment. To the point that my debit card was declined because the bank couldn't believe that it was actually me, right? They're like, we just want to double check. I'm like, oh. So right after that, Marty and I, my husband and I, went and sat in a nice little diner, and we said, you know what, this is it. This is it. Paparazzi is my ticket out of this educational system that didn't work for me. So that was probably January, February, right after I looked at my sponsor and said, you know, I'm going to do this full time. And he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. So shortly thereafter, there was a break in February for New York City Public Schools. And Marty said, okay, let's run the business full time. We're not going to go do anything fun. Let's run this thing on that week break and see what happens. We sold 2,000 pieces. 6 weeks later, he said, you know what, let's do it again. Before you walk away from a full-time 23-year career, let's do it again. Let's run it for another week. So there was another week in April. He said, let's see what happens. Run it full-time. We won't go to the spa. We won't go out for dinner. We're going to do this. 2,000 more pieces. Okay? In January, I hit Diamond Life of the Party. I had no idea what any of that was even about. All I knew is that it was pretty amazing. There you go. I wanted to put that premium, didn't feel sick. I hear ya. I hear ya. I hit Diamond. I was like, sounds like something really amazing. I truly had no clue. But here's the thing. If you don't know what Life of the Party is about, if you don't know what ranking up is about, those things are important. You need to learn what they are. But quite frankly, I was hitting those things because I was working like crazy. I was working my business. I was coming home from a full-time teaching job, whether I was exhausted, sick, had, parents screaming at me at that day. It didn't matter. I was working my business, and that's how I was achieving. Does that make sense? So I had no clue what those things were. It was happening to me because I was working. Ready for the real big one? So February rolls around and it's Rock the Runway, right? Rock the Runway, where we go for a Z necklace. And yes, in case you missed it, I am Heidi of the Heidi Z piece. And Michelle Johnny, some of you may know Michelle Johnny, she called me, or she messaged me. It was right after the first leaderboard came out, and I was like at the top of the leaderboard, maybe not number one, I don't remember, but way up there. And she's like, oh my gosh, you're in the running for Rock the Runway. You're like right amongst, you could get this thing. And I was like, Michelle, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, Rock the Runway, it's to have a Z piece. I literally had no clue what she was talking about. Yet there I was at the very tippy top of the leaderboard to possibly get a Z piece named after me. I had no idea what she was talking about. So my point with that is that I want you to think about, I was able to achieve those things without truly knowing what Life of the Party was about, what Rock the Runway is about. Imagine what you could do with the knowledge of knowing what those achievements are about and how to get there. Does that make sense? If you know what they are, wow, imagine what I could have achieved. I mean, I was already beating myself down, hardly sleeping. But once I realized what Rock the Runway was about, I also realized that there was nothing that I could do to control whether or not I got a necklace. Because truth be told, in Rock the Runway, you can control yourself, but you have no idea what everybody else is doing, right? So what I knew was that if I was going to get that necklace, it was going to be because I worked really hard, okay? So I set my sights on one humongous goal. You know what it is. You know what my goal was. To retire. To retire. My goal was not Life of the Party. I already hit Diamond. That was the highest at that point, and I hardly knew what that was truly about. My goal was not to get a necklace. My goal was to retire. Because here's the deal. I've said for 23 years as a teacher that I was there for the kids. So the only chance I had of retiring was at the end of the school day to walk out of that building on the last day of school just like my students. If I left at any other time of the year, I would have been a hypocrite. And that's how I truly felt. I had to push myself till the end of June, even though I already knew that that was going to be it for me. I had to stick it out for my students. Period. The end. Period. The end. So my goal became, by the end of June, I needed to retire. Stayed on the top of the leaderboard. February, didn't get the necklace. March, didn't get the necklace. You can go back and look at those leaderboards. My name is all up in there. April, didn't get the necklace. And I'll tell you what, April I actually worked with the necklace in my mind. I was recruiting like crazy. I was doing all of those things because I had a little bit better understanding of what it meant. But again, I couldn't control other people. I could only do my own thing, right? And didn't get it. And when I didn't get the necklace in April, I decided that in May, I wasn't even going to think about it anymore. That my goal had to be to retire from teaching. That was it. That was my goal. Whatever that meant, that's what had to happen. Period, the end. Forget the necklace. So May came and went. No necklace. Was I a little bit, did my heart hurt a little bit? Yeah, it did, because I knew how close I was. But I wanted to retire. So at the beginning of June 2018, now keep in mind, I'm ranking up. And I'm ranking up because I'm working. I'm working my business. I was going live twice a week for 3 to 4 hours. I was doing little pop-up lives. I was putting a few things on my business page, although I wasn't great with it because I didn't truly understand the value, the heavy value in a business page. But at the beginning of June, I told myself, because Julia Willingham, if you know Julia, she is in my paparazzi lineage, in my family, and she said, you cannot go to convention without being elite, and you're really close. She said, you need to be elite when you go to convention because it's a whole different feeling when you're elite. And I was like, okay. Again, I had no idea. I had never been at a convention. I didn't really know what she was talking about. But she told me to go for elite, so okay. So beginning of June, my very last month of teaching, I told myself, me and my little team of about, I probably had about 100-ish people on my team at that point. I would have to go back and look. No more than probably 150. I decided I was going to push that team. I was going to push my team to become an elite team in June. And June was a pivotal month in my life. So when you're looking at these big goals, you're looking at elite, you're looking at life of the party, you're looking at, and you're saying, I can't. Yes, you can. The only thing getting in your way is you. Don't tell me you don't have time. I taught special education and I was walking past drug deals on the streets. Don't tell me you don't have time. If you want something bad enough, you make time. I'm going to tell you about my June here in just a second. But I knew I wanted to retire. And the only way I could do it is if I worked like crazy. Otherwise, I'd still be teaching and looking forward to retiring 2 months from now. Does that make sense? It had to be in June. Whether it was last year or this year or 5 years from now. It had to be in June so that I could follow through with my students. June 2018. June 12th, my phone rang. And it was Cassidy, who's the lead stylist at Paparazzi. And it was about 7 o'clock at night. And I've gotten calls from Paparazzi before. You all probably, maybe you've had those calls where they call and congratulate you for different things. It's usually an animated call, automated call that goes like right to your voicemail, right? It's like, hey, congratulations, blah, blah. No. This one rang through. So I answered and she said, hey, Heidi, it's Cassidy. Sorry for calling you so late. And I'm thinking, girlfriend, you can call me at any time of the day, 4 a.m., whatever. And she said, I wanted to congratulate you. I still get, woo. And she said, you had the highest points in the entire 4-month Rock the Runway competition. And we are honoring you with naming a necklace after you. To tell you that I lost my ever-loving mind would be an understatement because in my head, that was a goal that was not even possible. It wasn't possible. I had already chalked that one up as done, over, that race was finished, right? Because how many months prior to that, I didn't even know what that was. But I knew that I had to work my business with my goal of retiring, right? What's your goal? Whether it's life of the party, whether it's elite, what's your goal? If it's financial freedom, those other pieces, yes, you need to be strategic about them, but you have to have a big goal in your mind. What's your why? Why are you doing this? I was doing this because I wanted to retire, right? That was June 12th. June 26th, I walked out of New York City public school for the very last time. The very last time. Do I still have my teaching credential? You better believe it. But I don't plan to use it because I don't plan to ever let this thing fall apart. June 28th, you know what I'm going to say. I hit elite. June was a crazy month in my life. Why? Because I worked hard. Why? Because I told myself that there were no excuses and I was worth it, and I needed to do something that made more sense to my heart. My students were my heart, but that educational system and those tests were not. Okay? If you want to retire, you need to set your mind on that and do everything you have to do. See, you all have your goals. You all have your big reason. What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Are you going live once a week? Are you taking your bling bag every so often? I was just out with my husband. We went and took a little walk. We had to go to the dollar store because we need more baskets for sorting, always. We went out to dinner, and I went up to four perfect strangers in New York City where people are a little jaded, and I handed them these earrings and a business card, and I talked about what I do. Will I ever hear from them again? Who knows? But you know what I did? I gave one of the girls an extra pair of earrings and an extra business card, and I asked her to pay it forward. I said, do me a favor, give these to somebody that you think will love them. You have a pair. Now share them with someone, right? So going out of your comfort zone, pushing yourself differently, who knows? I may never hear from one of those people ever again, but I know I made their day. Or that could be my next rock star on my team who I just saw at the burger restaurant. You have no idea. Do you push yourself out of your comfort zone? Do you look at those goals and do they scare you? Was retiring from teaching scaring? Nope. People ask me that. Were you scared? Were you nervous? The answer to that is no. I was actually very at peace, because I knew that I was finally being given a gift that made sense for me, right? Does that make sense? You have to push yourself. You have to feel uncomfortable. I looked at my husband and I was like, can you just take these earrings over? He's like, you're the face on camera. Get over there and give those earrings. What are you doing? And I did. And the one girl was like, oh my gosh, these are the best. Yeah. So fast forward a month. If you were at convention, comment #Vegas. Comment #Vegas if you were at convention last year. We all have our things, right, Janelle? We all have our things. Like, I'm very outgoing. I can talk, but going out to a perfect stranger in a restaurant at, in New York City, that's a little bit intimidating, right? So give me a #Vegas if you were at convention. I was one of the people that were on stage for Diamond, and I went to convention thrilled as could be that I was Diamond, right? I got off that stage because my feet were screaming. I was in heels, and I don't do heels. These were cute too. They were Coach, and they're really cute. I sat down, and I was changing into sandals because I knew under my sequin dress no one would see them, and I had to go back up to that stage to walk for a leap. So I'm changing into my sandals, and my sister Hillary, some of you may know Hillary, she was with me. She's reading the big Jumbotron thing where Misty Kirby could read, was reading from, and starts screaming at the top of her lungs. You could hear it in the videos, actually. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop it. She's screaming. Well, it's because Hillary saw on the screen that Misty Kirby was announcing Black Diamond. Hillary also saw on the screen that the very first name that was listed there was mine. So I quickly changed into my sandals, ran back up on that stage for now the, let me see, necklace, crown club, diamond. That would be the 4th time I was on the stage. Ran up there, and I was one of the first 7 to receive Black Diamond, Life of the Party. Did I know about Black Diamond? Nope, nobody did. Nobody did. But, ooh, I got myself a little bit. Nobody knew. If you hear a little noise in the background, that's my husband, Marty. He plays trumpet in New York City. He plays on Broadway and does recordings with Bruce Springsteen and, yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. So, Black Diamond became a thing, and I became one of them. And holy wow, that was unreal. Like, I still look back. Sometimes I watch the video from that moment, and it's still hard to believe that that was the case and that that was me. And, you know, I'm up there with people that I adore as leaders. Natalie Hadley, if you know Natalie, was who I was watching. Like, we all have those people we watch, right? Natalie was my girl who I was watching. I was trying to learn from, without seeming a little too stalkerish. but now she's one of my dear friends. Like, we actually talk every single day. But there I was on stage, not only with Natalie, but next to her. I became elite in June of 2018 and sat on that until June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. Look at my, I can't. At least it's pink. 8 months later, I hit fashionista. Why did I wait that long? Because I got really comfortable. When your paparazzi resume blows up as fast as mine did, I was comfortable. I was trying to figure out which end was up. I'm now doing this thing full time. I now have a team. My team's only 305 people. 305 people. And I use the word only because of the number, not because of the quality of people that I have. Redefine yourself by pushing yourself beyond yourself. That is right, Kay. I love that. Oh my God, I made myself cry. So my team is small but mighty. We sat at Elite for 8 months in the ocean in Dominican Republic. Summer, if you know Summer, she's in charge of Elite. We're just kind of hanging out, and she said to me, you know, we're chilling, hanging, getting to know each other a little bit better. And she was like, so what's up? You haven't ranked in a long time. And I was like, you're right. She's like, what's up with that? I said, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I hit Elite and I was really like happy about that. I said, and then I had the black diamond, the heartbeat necklace, this one. This is the one that I brought back, right? So we're putting the little puzzle pieces together if you didn't know me prior to now. I said, so many things have happened and I haven't really thought about it. And she said, you need to get on it. She said, you need to get on it. You don't become complacent just because you've achieved so many things. And she was right. So in January, I had that conversation, and it was in January that I hit Black Diamond again. I did. And in February, the shortest month of the year, with my team under 300 people, we hit Fashionista. We hit, and the ball continues to roll. So that's my story. That's my, you know, beginning up until now. And am I done? Nope. I have a huge goal for my own PV prior to Vegas, because I am hoping that there's going to be higher than Black Diamond. Who knows? But when we think about goals and when you think about pushing yourself, you're talking about, you're on a team that's called Exceeding in Abundance. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to exceed? What does it mean to succeed? What does abundance mean to you? And I think the big part of that, Janelle, for me, is are you worth it? Do you believe that you're worth it? Do you believe that you're worth walking across that stage? Do you believe that you're worth being in a job that makes sense to you? And maybe you love your job. That's awesome if you do. And paparazzi is your side hustle. Like, go for it. Do your thing. But do you absolutely 100% believe that you're worth excellence? Exceeding in Abundance, that's a huge, powerful team name. And you're all on that team. You're all there for a reason. But do you truly believe it? And if you don't, then I feel like it's time to do some soul searching. Did I believe that I was worth all of those things? I didn't know they existed. But now that I have them, let me tell you something. Let me tell you the part of this that I didn't know about. I didn't know that I could walk into a room now as Heidi Bound in Paparazzi, and people not only stop to come talk to me, but I've made people cry when they meet me. That's powerful stuff. Like, I've had people at EMP, at convention, just this past weekend in Utah, who said, I came here and one of the first things I needed to do was to meet you. I thought when I left teaching that I was walking away from teaching. Little did I know I was walking into teaching in a whole different way. My story teaches and inspires you, hopefully here. Hopefully you're walking away from this today and you're going, oh my gosh, let me kick it up. Because yes, this is about life of the party. Yes, this is about ranking up. Yes, this is about necklaces. This is about making money. But this is about you and having this feel good and being able to share that with other people. I can inspire you here on camera. I can go into that parking lot of thousands of people in Utah on Friday, and every other person either came up to talk to me or knew who I was. And those who didn't, it's, you know, you could see them sort of like listening in, trying to get some, you know, a moment to say hey. And not all of them, that's fine. That's refreshing too. Like, I'm like, oh, you don't, you know, because I've had people come to me asking for selfies in the bathroom. You are worth it. Do you know that? Set those goals. Push yourself. You are worth the work, the energy, the accolades, the money, the way, being inspired, inspiring others, all of those things. You have to believe you're worth it. Okay? I'm going to open it up questions because I know I went a little past my time, Janelle. I just looked at my clock over here. Like I said, I'm not used to half hour. So bear with me. But if you have questions, Janelle, if that's okay, you want to open it up. You know, I don't want to go too much past your time because I know that you probably all have lots of things to do. But if you want to ask, please feel free. And if you want to wrap it up, Janelle, that is totally fine as well. I will welcome you to follow me. Please don't friend request me. You can follow me on my Facebook page. I do all my business on my business page, and I invite you, whoops, sorry. I do invite you to come and take a look at my business page. Oh, Janelle, thank you. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Gotham City Bling by Heidi. Gotham City Bling by Heidi. You are encouraged to go look at my business page. Come watch me live. People come and watch me live all the time. I ask that you please respect my business and the hard work that I put into it. I'm not inviting you there to come and shop. I'm inviting you to come and learn. That's the teacher in me. But I also ask that you please are respectful of the hard work that I've done to get my customer base as high as I have. If you come in, you can certainly mention that you're a paparazzi brother or sister, but please, you know, I've had people come in sometimes and they're like, if I run out of something, they're like, oh, hit me up, I have it. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're kidding me. So just please be respectful of that. I would love that. How do you find courage to talk to strangers? Where do you find courage to talk? Oh, okay. Same question. I call it your elevator scoop, your elevator moment, right? If you're in an elevator with someone, okay, you're in an elevator with someone, you have seconds in that elevator, right? Sometimes here in New York we have a little bit longer, but let's consider on average you have seconds, right? If somebody said to you, what do you do? Tell me about that business you're in. What would you say, right? The jewelry is a really easy way to do that. I very rarely walk up to somebody to talk about paparazzi without having, yeah, your 30-second elevator, somebody said that, your 30-second elevator speech. Absolutely. This is the perfect way to do it. Here's how. So the gal today at the burger joint, right? Patricia was her name. Patricia had on these fantastic hoops. Perfect. So I went up to her and I said, hey, Patricia. I said, I got to tell you. Now, she's a jaded New Yorker. She's looking at me like, what you trying to sell me, right? Because that's just how we are. And here I am with these cute earrings in my hand. And I said, hey, Patricia, I said, hey, girl, I said, I was checking out your earrings from over there and I love them. And I said, I want to come over here and give you this random act of kindness. I sell $5 jewelry. I said, I'm not trying to sell these to you. I had to tell her that right away. I said, but I'm giving these to you as a gift because I know that I can tell by your style that you can rock them. Compliment. I was legit, right? She had great hoops on. And she goes, so what are you saying, girl? Like playing around. Like first she introduced herself and then she's like, what you saying, girl? My hoops aren't cutting it. I said, no, honey, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I could tell by those hoops that you could rock these earrings, right? Confidence. Gave her my business card. I showed her how, you know, what it was. Now, sometimes I'll have people take out their phone and look me up, but she was enjoying her burger. I was already like invading her space, right? Use what they're wearing as an opportunity to engage in conversation. That 30-second elevator speech goes something like this. Hey, what do you do for a living? I have my own business. Oh, really? What do you do? I sell $5 jewelry. Do you know that I was a teacher for 23 years and I'm doing this business now and making 6 figures compared to what I was doing when I was teaching? Really? Bam. People are hearing success in numbers and they want to hear about it. They want to hear about it. People know what teachers get paid. They know it's not 6 figures, right? So I now have my moment, my thing to talk about. But I think the bottom line to that, whether it's in the elevator or whether it's while somebody, I mean, she's sitting at the bar, she had her back to me today, Patricia did. I had to go up and get her attention when I had her turn around and wanting to knock me out, right? But it's going up with confidence because I know that what I have in my hand that I'm about to give you, you're going to love. And I went back, she was with her friend. I gave her a pair too, although I don't think she had her ear pierced, but whatever. And I went up with another pair and another business card. And I said, Patricia, you know what? I love talking to you so much. I'm going to give you another pair. I said, I know I already gave this pair to you, but I want you to pass this along, pay it forward, give it to somebody that you think is going to love these. Right? And she was like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Will I hear from Patricia again? Who knows? Maybe never. But Patricia could be on that stage with me in Vegas. Who knows? I don't know what I just did for Patricia. And I think that's part of it. When you're going to go up and talk to a stranger, it's knowing that you have, whether it's the $5 jewelry that's going to make their heart feel happy, or it's the business opportunity that you're about to tell them about. You don't know if that girl just got a foreclosure on her mortgage. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know if maybe she's going through a rough situation at home with her husband and there's a divorce. Like, you don't know. Maybe she loves her job and she's already built wealth, but she's not traveling and would love to travel. Maybe he is looking for a bunch of people to spend time with. You don't know. So you are walking up to them with a gift, and a much bigger gift with this company. Does that make sense? Own it. Own it. Own your goals. Own your story. Own the gift that you have to share. Yep. Any other questions? Hopefully that answered your question. I'm just looking at, I just want to make sure. Yeah, it's owning it. And I never leave without jewelry. Now, I took these today because it's New York and, you know, we're really into like cool, trendy things. But there may be times when I would just take something like this because people are either going to wear these or they're not. This is a pretty universal necklace that most people would really be into, right? So any other questions? Thank you for sharing your story. I just received your Z piece today. After hearing your story, I now see how this piece tells a bit of your journey. Oh, okay. I don't even know you, but you're going to get... The strong links represents every obstacle you've overcome and still stand beautiful and defined in class and elegance. You are amazing. Thank you. The story also behind In a Heartbeat, just a little sidebar snippet, just in case, you know, you're curious and if you want to sell this, there is a story to why I brought that back. I'm a survivor of atrial septal defect. You may have noticed I have a scar. So I had open heart surgery at the age of 5, so literally almost 40 years ago. So I brought that back as a tribute to my mom and my father who passed away about 9 years ago now, as a tribute to them for making sure that at that very young age that they got the best care for me. So that heartbeat is not just a random thing. It has a real, true, beautiful message behind it for me. So, Kay, I appreciate you saying that. That means so much. I love that. So, Janelle, you let me know if there are any other questions. It's so sweet. And if not, I'm going to say thank you so much for allowing me. I love to come into groups. I love sharing my story. I love getting to know other people. So if you are in Vegas, hopefully you're in Vegas this year. And if you are, please take a minute, come up to me, introduce yourself, tell me that you are part of Beautiful Janelle's team. And, you know, we'll do the selfie thing. I'll be there and I'll be on stage. Yes, for Black Diamond, and who knows if anything's going to go higher. My PV is climbing fast. It's climbing fast. So crossing my fingers. Good, Janelle. I am so glad. You've got to know your worth. You've got to push yourself. Okay, so Janelle, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you. And thank you for letting me go over the time. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the opportunity for being here. Again, if you want to check me out, you want to watch, you want to look at my page for the sake of learning, it's Gotham City Bling by Heidi. You can also follow me on my personal page, Heidi Bound. but you're going to get more learning as far as business, watching my lives, which all happen on my business page. So, all right, I thank you. Love to you from New York City with my pink fingers. Yeah, it's even cuter because it's pink. Thankfully, it's pink. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Janelle. You're awesome.